Hey guys, it's your girl TishLuv, and we are here at Get to Know Me, and today I am joined by the new cast of Blunt Talk. You guys have to tune into this. They are crazy. They talking about everything from beating kids to bluntly talking to smoking blunts and everything else. So make sure you tune in to episode 2, Get to Know Me. Welcome back to another episode of Get to Know Me. I'm your girl TishLuv. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Get to Know Me. I am here with my fam from the up and coming podcast, Blunt Talk.
Blunt Talk.
Oh my God. I can't believe you guys are here.
Yes.
Introduce yourselves, guys, and tell me about Blunt Talk. What's Blunt Talk gonna be about?
What's going on, guys? I'm Tyreek Davis, co-founder, along with my partner Mel.
Yep.
My other co-partner Rocky. Blunt Talk. Introduce you guys.
Yes. We're gonna be doing Blunt Talk, basically talking about life bluntly while we smoking, blunts with the guys or with whoever we have come through. That's gonna be the new wave.
Oh,
Check it out.
Definitely. That day we're gonna have, real good topics. Keep the topics mostly about facts, and keep the blunts going,
So
for the most part.
who came up with the name Blunt Talk?
It was a collaboration type
It
of
was a
thing.
collaboration.
Me and
That sounds like something somebody high came up with. So
Right.
was y'all
We was
high
really
at
smoking
the time?
blunts. Right. We was literally smoking blunts and bluntly talking at the
Right.
time.
That's usually what we normally do, though.
Okay.
On a day-to-day basis, we have talks with the guys about different things, different topics. We always touch. We do, try to talk about positive stuff
Okay.
here and there. But we always have blunt talks amongst the fellas.
Everything normally comes over. A conversation normally,
Arises.
Over
Blunt.
Every now and again, food comes around. But
Y'all are crazy. But I'm sure that's a dope concept because just seeing what y'all think about, because y'all are crazy. Like, guys are crazy.
Rocky's crazy. He's a crazy guy. He's a crazy guy, guys.
I'm guilty.
I'm very excited about this show.
It's gonna be
I'm
dope,
definitely
though.
going
It's
to
gonna be
come.
dope. Check it out. Coming soon.
I'm going to be in the background until y'all
Real
say
soon.
something crazy, and then I'm going to have to talk bluntly.
Bluntly.
Right.
So we going to be on the
Everybody come
lookout.
She's not smoking a blunt. She
It's
don't smoke blunts.
blunts are optional, actually.
Yeah, they're optional. You don't have to have them. More for me.
Right. That's a good thing about the show, though. It's a good thing about the show.
That you don't have to,
Yeah,
because
you know.
there's different meanings to blunt talk.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not for smokers. It's for
everybody.
It's a vibe. If you want to catch a vibe while you're smoking, or smoking and listening to people who talk about their smoking experiences,
Then we your guys.
then we your peoples.
Even if you have something to talk about, you feel like you can come on the show and get it out and bluntly talk about it,
Okay.
hit us up, That's what
Everyday
it's
life.
for.
That sounds fun. All right. Thank
We'll
you
see.
guys.
Should be.
Yes.
So let's get started on our get to know me topics. I'm going to start off.
Cool.
First of all, like I said, thank y'all guys for being here.
Thanks for having us.
This is not blunt talk, but this is another form of blunt talk
talk,
because you say how you feel on Get to Know Me. Because we're
Absolutely.
getting to know
You
each
kind of
other.
got to be bluntly to get to know somebody.
Exactly.
At a certain point.
It's always good to get to know someone.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really can't start a relationship. You can't build anything without being honest.
Usually can't
and
be too blunt without getting to know somebody first.
That's your fault.
Right.
Exactly.
Right, that's the first step.
That's the collaboration. Exactly. You know what I like about that though?
Yeah,
Because
that's not bad.
we're gonna lead with that. We were talking earlier about people putting out a representation of themselves prior to when they're getting into a relationship. It was something you brought up. So I want to start with that. What is it about people? Why do you think people always put out a representation of themselves before they really show their true self in a relationship?
I mean, personally, in my opinion, what I think is because you want to put your best foot forward. Like, say for instance, if you want to get that job with a new girl,
A job or a new girl?
You want to make sure you in the job as well. You giving a representation of the person that you actually want them to
Right.
believe that you are. In a sense that not you are that person, but
It's
you
a
put
part
your
of you.
best foot forward. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You're not going to be that same person you're on the first day of filling out application out going to interview
It's also like
every day.
it's also falls along the first impression is the best impression.
Pretty
right?
much, exactly.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. So
Okay.
when you're going in for a job interview or you're going to get that girl or whatever you want, you know, the first impression is always the best impression. That's the lasting memory. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so,
true.
you know, that's what I think personally.
Okay, what do you think?
I agree.
You agree
and
with
I
that?
also think that, you know, like people work, like they try to feel people. A lot of people are sacred with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you know they want to get a feel of everybody else too. You know what I mean? Because it takes a while to get to know somebody. So you can't just go out there jumping out and just you know what I'm
Showing you're
saying?
crazy right
Yeah,
away.
you can't show you're crazy right away. You know what I mean, that might run.
Yeah.
That I think that's
Yeah, you have to.
the main thing.
And I
Everybody,
think-
I think,
I
is
mean,
the
A lot
high.
of people in society now, like, but even in back in the days, I think we come with like a guard. We have a guard up of
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, especially if you've been hurt previously or anything, or you're afraid to jump out. You know, it's a guard. You know, you got to protect yourself because say if you put everything out there
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't work out, it tears the pieces of yourself away. You know,
Like
so
you gave too much.
Okay.
And
I guess it's a smart thing to do, but
Right.
at some point you gotta get to know the person.
Right.
If you want to.
When you say give the representation, though, you don't not necessarily that the person's a bad guy or a bad girl, right?
Right.
It's like anything fresh is like it's exciting, it's new, so it's like you know you call him more, you text him more, things die down a little bit, just naturally. You know what I mean? Some guys and some gals keep it up, but naturally, I think it kind of you know. You're moving with your girl. You're not calling no more.
Yeah.
You're living with your lady now, so it's a different situation.
She's around you more often.
Exactly. So
That's different because how I'm looking at the situation is guys give you flowers, bring you candy, you know,
Yeah,
be
okay.
sweet. You be ready to take them home to meet mama. And then I feel like when the switch happens is like a lot of times like right after sex.
yeah.
Then the real whoever you are, please stand up because it changes. So that representation, I don't know if it's really just
So you're saying
to always
from your personal experiences, you think that's what
I feel
happened,
like
or just your
that be the
opinion?
most. I get your point of people, you know, not wanting to be too vulnerable because I don't want to give you all. But guys, I don't know if that's always y'all angle. Y'all angle really be I gotta get the buns,
No, I mean-
and then I'm gonna show you who I really
See,
am. Then
you
I don't
think
have
that's how it
time.
I feel like
Yes, a lot
So
of
what if you
times.
get the buns and then you're going harder now?
You think that?
A lot of situations are like that. Now you might be open. You might say, wait.
It's a small-
Oh, you be open? That's
You might get the flowers, now you get the house, like right now. Like.
Is that how y'all feel?
I mean, it's different circumstances. I don't know. You know what I mean? Yes, I am, but I don't know if that's the
You ever see a
circumstance.
guy date a girl and then like 6 months later, he's like, bro, I'm gonna marry her. Like it's going down. Like
It happens. No, it
situations.
happens. It
Now he
happens,
might get
absolutely.
too
It happened with him.
The girl might tear his heart
Happens. No,
apart. You know what I'm
happens,
saying? It can go
happens.
vice versa. So
100%. I think you know.
that's why again
It's
you
not
gotta have
necessarily
the
a
guard
bad
up. You have
thing,
to
like,
take
you know,
steps.
it's just you know.
You have to take the
putting-
proper steps to be
you're putting
careful.
Your best foot forward on the first date or the first, you know.
It just sucks because a lot of
whatever,
us, I think, here you have to reach a level of maturity to really know who you are. So you might think what you want, or think you know what you want, and think you know who you are, and then life happens, you evolve, and they say, wait,
You gotta.
this is who I am. I may think who I was, but that's not who I really am or who I want to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the person have to really know themselves because they can portray whoever they want to portray to you, but that's
Right.
who they really
Eventually
are.
the light gonna shine
and
on
some
you
people
and-
can bring out who people really are. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? So it depends what kind of people, two people are trying to get to know each
Do,
other.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna ask. Do you feel like you ever put on like the facade, the representation?
I have.
You
I
ha-
wouldn't lie. Never in life. I have. We all have.
Girls
It's not
included.
everybody have. You know what I mean? But the way we do it, it might get looked at differently. Our facades, but girl facades is they
Right.
good. Their
Don't
facades
hang
get
up
swept
on girls.
under the know what I mean, under the rug. But know what I mean? Like I have done it, know what I'm saying? But I feel like usually like say like he said, with a relationship or a job, almost the same thing. Like when you get a job, right, you go and represent like, oh, this is what I can do. I don't know if I want to do this
All
every
the
day.
time? Okay.
But this is what I can do. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
All right.
it's like I'm here, you know what I mean, showing you what I can do. Mm-hmm. You might get it, you know what I mean,
Every now
throughout.
and again.
Yeah, but it's not like
Every day.
You think it's gonna be
Right,
every day?
'cause
You
when
really
you first start
really
out,
want me to leave,
And
get
you
up
want to
and
secure
bring
your
you
spot
breakfast every day?
and move up and
Yes.
move up in the world and the job, you almost like a great worker. You're giving your best. But you're not gonna be a great worker every day of your job, every day on your job for years. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're gonna
30
always be a
years.
good worker. You're gonna always do your job.
Yeah,
right.
You're gonna do whatever it takes
Right.
to get that job. Whatever they demand of you to get that job,
And
or,
keep it.
or to get the buns, or to get the buns. And if you want to talk about having
Right.
sex with girls, you do whatever you take. And then after that, it's like, all right, cool. You kind of fall back a little bit, like, I got it. You know, it's almost like you gotta stay motivated.
Well, if you
It's
get it, you
almost
wanna keep on
staying
getting it.
motivated is the girl not
That's
giving
what
the
I'm
guy
saying. It's really
the
to each his
situation
own, you
at
know?
first. You know,
Here, there you go, girls. I got them to say it. Keep your buns to yourself, and they'll
Try.
keep up their consistency.
Yeah, for as long
As
as
soon
you
as they get the buns,
Right. Now
sometimes
look at
it's-
this.
until you
Let me
get to
tell
know
you
them.
this. Let me tell you
Or
this.
until you get to know them.
Let me tell you this. I'm kind of weird under that situation, right? I think if you give me the
This is
buns,
weird.
you probably can have me forever if you just give me the buns.
That's
But if you don't
definitely-
give me the
that's
buns, you might
definitely
miss me because I'm not gonna just be waiting around because I already know what I'm bringing. So if you give me the buns, you give me a chance. I'm like, oh, she really gave me the buns, and them buns might not be even good. But the fact that you was willing just to give it to me, I can make it special. You know? I feel like I can.
If it ain't good, I can't make it special. Sorry,
Let's
it
hear it
ain't
from a woman's perspective.
do
Though.
it.
How do you feel about certain things as far as what that's concerned, as far as representation, or how do you
Girls-
feel about do girls give out they, fake ID on the first date?
Yes.
They always gotta figure out,
Yes, we do, and it's always it's a real part of us. I think that it's never like fake. It's always just a specific part because, we may not want to scare a guy off. 'Cause
Little by little.
you guys are easy. As soon as a girl do something, if I call you 2 times, I'm crazy.
The wrong way, right.
You
It
know,
rubbed the wrong way, he out of
so
there.
I
You
think
right.
a lot of times it's not to we do it not to scare guys off, not to try to get something out of guys. You know, we're trying not to scare guys off because a guy thinks that if a girl's too clingy, if she's calling too much, then you want to kind of put up like a too hard to get.
And guys are made with like simplicity.
Yeah.
I think a lot of girls miss that part about guys.
You guys are simple.
We're very simple. It don't take much to really make us happy. Like,
But then you'll see
if
girls
you
that
do-
wanna
if you
deal
do-
with guys,
If you
too.
do the things that makes us happy, as far as make sure the things that we like are done. I mean, simple stuff. It don't take much. You know what I mean? Our happiness usually comes from being a provider, or probably making
being
sure
a
our
real man.
lady, our kids are more happy. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So the simplest things that you do could make me happy.
Right.
Okay. So when girls do
A
too
real
much,
man.
that's when they mess
because
up.
you have
Yeah.
man boys that play games. And,
Yeah, right.
and young chicks or
That's true.
girls that's older that's still young that act like the young mentality will put up with nonsense like, childish games that men boys play.
boys. I like that. I like that term.
You have to separate the men from the boys, man,
That's a
because
fact.
Separate them.
there's different levels of life, and some people just like that. Like you said, like how you be a good man, you make it simple to please us. But some girls don't want simple. They might think they want simple, but overall, we want a guy to put them through games, stress them out.
It
Because when they
happens.
get the good man, they don't know how to treat it. Because they're like, oh, he's too simple. They want the excitement.
Right,
They want to get hit upside the head.
They
or
want the good
call
man
them
until
and
a
chase
good
their
man is a good man.
and
Yeah, they want
Right.
that.
be
They want
involved with other girls with their
Answer the
man.
phone. I called him 7 times. Girl, you ready?
They want to
I
live
think
life
that a
like
lot
love
of
and hip
times-
hop in
no,
real
wait,
life.
wait. I think that a lot of times that happens because girls, you know, and I'm gonna give it to y'all too. A lot of times it be the first relationship. People in the first times in relationships don't ever really be on the same page, so it messes up the one that was on the right page.
Right.
And then when they in their
It's the
second
wrong time.
relationship,
You gotta let the person grow.
Right.
That's why I look for a person that's level-headed like me. Because at this now, like, if say you 35, 40 years old, whatever the case may be, you get a young chick. Not to saying that a girl or a man younger than you can't be matured, right? But you have to also analyze their life and see what they've been through, if it's the truth. And then you have to go from there. Now, say somebody say, oh, I'm young, I want to work, and I've got a lot of dreams, and I want to do stuff, and I want to sit back and have a relationship. That's not a good idea to really try to have a relationship if that's not what that person wants.
Want.
You know?
So you have to be
can't
having
force it.
communication
Right.
and
So you have to,
understanding.
that's the key. The key
Yeah.
is always the
I
key.
think that's number one.
Communication.
in any
It's
relationship.
definitely,
In any-
that's a
in
fact.
life, period.
And I'm not that good at it. I'm working on it.
You're work in progress. That's what we got.
Right, it's not easy. It's not
One
easy.
day at a time.
That's it.
Not easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to you now. What's your topic about?
Oh, all right. I got a relationship topic.
Okay.
That I mean, I don't know why, but I got one. Is why do girls tend to focus on the wrong things?
Where'd that come from? Because
What happened was, let me tell you where it came from.
I need to know.
I was
Because what
talking
do
to
you
my
mean, girls?
sister and her partner,
Okay.
and they basically was talking about that.
Okay.
And me and her fiance, we agreed on that girls tend to like focus on the wrong things.
I think that's people in general.
A lot
And
of
it can
people.
be. It just depends on the situation.
You could be.
But I get what you're saying. I think that sometimes girls, it's not that we focus on the wrong things. sometimes we don't know exactly how to portray what we're trying to say without sounding crazy. We always working on eggshells because girls are more willing to be in a relationship and deal with more things, and I think that we know that guys, y'all have so much more pickings, I guess, than us, or you act like it. So sometimes if you're in love, you walk on eggshells. You don't want to, miss it. So you don't want to. You think it's gonna sound crazy to him to talk about what it really is, maybe, and you walk a beat around the bush. So to you, it sounds like you focused on the wrong thing, or. And
Right.
it's
It
like,
seems like
you're
it's
supposed to know what we're
seems
doing.
too good to
we
be
were
true
talking
type of
about with me and
situation.
him is that things like that could like turn me off or get me in a different space because I'm simple. I'd rather you just come and say, you know what, this is what it is. And if I get angry at that moment, cool, I'll get over it.
Okay.
But
so you
by
want
you
a girl
dragging
to be
me
blunt.
by you dragging me and really like, oh, well, you didn't pick up your phone, but it's really not about me picking up my phone. It's because I didn't bring you something to eat. Just tell me it's because I didn't bring you the food that you asked me for. Don't call me and be like, oh, you didn't pick up your phone.
Now,
No,
say
it's
why
not
you
what it's
said
about.
that.
Okay.
The way that was said in that situation should be said in that situation. How you just broke it down. Because sometimes it's communication inside of communication.
Okay.
Depends on what kind of person you're dealing with.
That's so rocky.
No, I'm serious. Because some
Yes.
people, you got to look
guys.
at all angles, like how you thinking, and then you got to also try to figure out, ask the person how they think, so you can understand where they coming from.
It's
you know
always
what I'm saying?
good.
In a
It's always good to
situation.
get a 360 view of it.
Nine times out of 10, the person might not want to let you know how they actually thinking at the time. You know what I'm saying? So
because sometimes
it depends
things
on your
be
person.
crazy to yourself,
Right.
but you mad at it.
Yeah.
So it's like
You don't know how you affect another person
right,
by
and
what
you
you're
don't
doing and what
even
you're
know
saying.
how to communicate it because it sounds crazy to you,
It's
but
foreign.
I have these feelings,
Mm-hmm.
So I have to tell you something,
Right.
like
And that's
I
also
might be
called
bugging.
identifying with your feelings and your emotions. You got to be aware of it. You know.
Yeah, you
'cause
have to know what
Once you know that, then you can communicate better.
Okay.
Too.
That's a fact. That's important. Self-awareness.
Yeah,
Self-awareness.
that's definitely key
A
thing.
lot of people
man.
don't have it.
So I want to ask you guys a question. You guys are all young males of color. I'm a young woman of color. So I just wanted to know, how do you guys feel about seeing women of color on social media twerking and showing like a lot of skin and kind of being what people will call other people will call inappropriate? How do you look at that?
Me personally, in this day and age, I feel like people are expressing who they are in different ways, and unfortunately, that's became one of the ways.
Okay.
So,
long as it's tasteful,
I
man.
mean, as long as it's not, like I said, it's not like if you every day on the gram, every day.
Yeah. They be
But
on
it's
them
like
every
if
day.
you're on a vacation or you're in a club, you're having a good time once in a
Twerk a
while.
little bit.
That's understandable.
Twerking is cool, man. It's,
Yeah.
it's exciting. It's exciting for everybody. Yeah, you enjoying it, I'm enjoying it, we're enjoying it.
So what? Okay. So if it's your child or your mother or your better half doing it, do you still feel the same way?
I feel the same way, but I might feel a little. If it's my daughter, I'm gonna be like, hold up.
I think
I'm gonna be a
twerking should be
little-
age appropriate.
Yeah,
I think
know what I mean?
twerking is it's a subject to where it can go both ways. It's something to talk about.
It's something to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
it's something to think about for sure.
I'm asking the question because I feel like as a representation of all women, because I try my hardest. I'm human, so I am flawed. But I try my hardest not to be judgmental.
Right.
Do you twerk? Would you twerk?
I really don't twerk because I don't know how to twerk. I'm gonna be totally
So-
honest with you.
If you figured it out,
But
you definitely twerk.
even if I did know how to twerk, and it's not even to try to be politically correct or try to be better than nobody. This is, I swear to God, it's really because of society. And I understand that you should do what you want to do, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do to get where you want to be. And I noticed that when that's what you're known for, sometimes you're not taken as seriously as you want to be in your professional world, because social media is really a resume.
Right.
No matter where you go in life,
if you know-
people like, what's your IG, what's your Facebook,
Right.
what's your Twitter,
That's
So
what
if
it
that's
came
what
to.
they see, I'm not saying you shouldn't twerk.
Now,
I
if you know that you got an angle with it, and you know you're a hot commodity, and you twerking, you saying, listen, this twerking, you gonna give me something?
If that's
do
your
it.
if that's your angle.
But if you twerking, you ain't getting nothing out of it. You're just twerking on a gram or basically on a forefront that's getting you nowhere.
Right.
then it's
I
kind
mean,
of
if
like you might as well twerk and close door because it's not doing nothing.
if you're doing it out to have fun, then that's what you're getting
But have
out of
fun.
it.
You don't need to be on camera to have the fun.
I mean, maybe that's what they like the likes. It's the likes, you know?
Right.
It be the
I
likes.
get it. Right. That's it.
likes
People
You know,
enjoy
it be the
that.
likes. But just as a minority
The world
woman,
is kind of being ran on likes a lot right now.
100%. Everybody
crazy.
does everything for the likes. But
America
as a,
don't run off Dunkin' anymore.
Not Dunkin', baby.
Run off likes.
America runs on likes.
that's facts. I definitely think that while it is okay and it is entertaining, we have so much to confront and so much things to do that
On a serious note, yeah, we do.
on a serious note, so it almost withdraws from people taking you serious and listening to what you really got to say, or you know what I'm saying. And sometimes when there's a serious situation going on, but I see your ass going up and down, I might be paying more attention to your ass than what's really serious
like a
right now.
diversion,
It's
basically.
like a diversion that we do unto ourselves. So again, if you on Instagram twerking, twerk, baby. You know, but also keep in mind that there are serious things that's going on, and sometimes
yeah.
it could take away from it. Or when you're outside of that, you might not be taking that seriously. And if that doesn't bother you, if you feel like at the end of the day I am who I am, do you know, more power to
You
you.
remember back in the days, right before twerk came out, they had the tick, right? And it was ticking.
It is ticking.
Right?
That's a fact.
That died off too. So eventually twerking will die off. You know, it's a
But
phase.
you know,
They was
twerking and whining, it's
Right,
all
it's
part
all-
of
it's just a
African kids. It
reinventment.
is who we
Yeah, just a
are.
reinventment.
I'm talking
So I
about the
think
people that be twerking and jumping and like strippers on Instagram, you know?
So we should make
It's the way-
twerking.
it's the
We
way
should
you
make
do it,
twerking
man.
sacred for the African woman, correct?
No, you should definitely do it. You know?
Tastefully.
Yeah, tastefully.
Yeah.
You just can't. You shouldn't twerk Monday through Sunday. You know what I mean? If you want to twerk.
So
like,
you couldn't have your
occasionally.
wife on Instagram twerking. That's what you basically
I
saying.
mean,
So
again, if a situation came up to where maybe
like-
she was at a wedding and had a couple drinks, she was twerking, it's like, yeah, all right, cool, my wife was turning up. But if she's twerking
Especially, and
Monday,
there's a difference. If you twerking
Wednesday,
dressed or
Saturday,
undressed,
you
can
she got my
twerk with your
daughter
dress
walking my
on.
daughter down the block,
look just as
twerking on the way to
great.
school, it's like
Fully
that's
dressed.
inappropriate.
You doing wild twerking.
Yeah, you
You ain't got nothing better to do?
Exactly. So
She could
you
twerk
know,
on the way to work. That's okay.
No.
Twerk while you work.
I mean, we leave the twerking for those who working, okay?
Right.
So,
We understand that, okay?
I wanna touch on something.
I want to hear what you
I want to touch on something.
Right.
Do you think it's important to challenge your children, family members, and friends to be better?
In life,
Period. Yes.
do I think that it's important to challenge? Yes,
That's
absolutely.
1,000,000%. That's a
Yes.
that's a 1,000,000%.
Yes.
1,000,000%.
You can't leave that up to nobody else. Because like,
That's not even enough of a question.
I'm just asking because some people might not. Know what I mean?
No, that's not. No, you have to. Us, especially us people, we have to.
Some people
challenge
don't. Some
us.
people don't encourage.
You have to.
each
We have
other
to.
to
We have to
do
challenge.
better.
Yeah, we have to challenge, encourage each other. We too
Like
busy
even some things
breaking
that
each
y'all
other
do,
down.
as far as like in y'all chat, I don't mean to bring it up, but as far as that word thing, I think that was really dope. As far as like you sending somebody a word that they might not know, or to educate them on that word, and then
Right.
furthermore spread it around. Like, hey, I want to hear you use it in a sentence. You know what I'm saying? I
so
think that was
wait,
really dope.
we have to tell our supporters where that came from.
Yep.
So I'm sure you guys know, and if you don't know, this is my husband, and
Hey, guys.
these are my cousins, or his cousins. So they're our cousins because we're husband and wife. So our family, we have a group chat, and my father-in-law sends words of the day to the family on a group chat, a new word that we probably never heard of, and all of them so far I've never heard of until he sends them, and it gives the definition, it tells you how to say it, and then everybody in the family use the word in a sentence in the group chat. So we can add that word to our daily vocabulary.
Correct.
So that's, just some juice on what he was talking about. But
Yeah.
it is definitely, I mean, each one, each one teach
teach
one.
And it goes back to just not all play. It's you get a lot of playing, but you got to get back to studying and focus and sharpening your mind. That's it.
Yeah.
Can't
And it is very important to encourage our family members, because if we don't do it, who's going to do it?
Right.
No one.
You know?
Absolutely nobody else.
Yeah.
Until I had a kid, I never really understood the meaning of it takes a village to raise a kid.
Yeah.
It really does.
It does.
It does, really does.
That's
Like I'm
facts.
really like the old person on my block. I be yelling at people, kids, and all. Hey, you're not gonna do that. Nah, know what I mean? Like I'm a part of the village.
Young man.
I think
I'm
honestly,
super
a lot
I'm part
of
of the village.
a lot
That's a big fact.
good
You want somebody to do that
communities
with your kid.
That's
are,
right.
are coming along like that. Like back in the days, I think it was like so much stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on now, but still, like you see good neighborhoods and communities. It is them raising the kids, like you said. So That's why, like, the people that are lost, you know, we have to, like, stick together, especially the youth, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Always lift up and encourage. And if you feel like somebody is on the wrong path, it could be an elder person. I think that communication, it just depends on how you say it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Exactly.
What?
Can I ask you something else? Because you're a female.
Absolutely.
Do you think that chivalry's dead?
No. I think that that's a good question. I don't think that is dead. I think that is a lot, but people decide when and where to use it. You know, so it can be a person that is nice, but they choosing not to be that way today. You understand what I'm saying? What do you think?
I think it is.
You think it's dead? Why?
For the most part, for now. The reason being why I say that, it's not dead with me.
Okay.
But I
That's
feel
why
like,
I said it's not dead.
I feel like the younger, my grandmother back in the days, like, she didn't play with me. If I took something from somebody, you make sure you say thank you, make sure you're welcome.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
like grandmothers these days is probably like my age. Like,
Right.
So they're not really implementing the old school values which created the chivalry that we all grew up on anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like these younger kids, it's like they don't really know what it is. It's like,
And I think that comes a lot
if
with
you hold the door for somebody, they might
being in
walk
their
right by
hands.
you.
Yeah.
You can't even
The
say thank
urgency
you.
for everything is fast. The world is just, everything is so
Social
fast.
media. Yeah.
Songs, movies,
spans
everything
are
is
very
moving at a
short.
rapid pace right now, you know, because
People-
life is evolving. It is.
I definitely feel like at the end of the day, we need to learn magic words and manners again, like we used to. Thank you guys. That was
Absolutely.
so fun. We have to do this again.
Absolutely, I enjoyed it.
Blunt talk times, get to
Absolutely.
know me.
That's right.
What do you
Next
know?
Next time,
Yes,
next time
yes,
we're gonna
yes.
stay a little longer,
Yes.
chat a little longer.
Chat a little
Come on,
longer.
Maybe
Good
bring
one,
some of
guys,
that
definitely.
medicine.
Ronald, the producer back there like, no, you won't.
You say that for
We
blunt
won't
talk.
be blunt talking in
Not
here.
at all.
You can talk bluntly, but you
Right.
can't talk with the blunt.
In here, right.
We'll just keep it blunt.
Just,
Mental
that's
blunts.
it. That's it. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Get to Know Me. This is your girl TishLuv. I'm here with the cast of Blunt Talk, and we'll be back.
Yes.
See you guys.
Peace.
Get